Hello and welcome. Here are today's Vnews headlines.
State government leaders receive Indian Foreign Minister. Vietnamese National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Hùng held talks with Cambodian counterpart Heng Samrin. Director of the General Politics Department of the Vietnam People's Army, Lieutenant General Ngô Xuân Lịch, met with Chinese Vice State President Xi Jinping. Construction of the $2 billion Mông Dương thermoelectric power plant began in the northeastern province of Quảng Ninh.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng had a working session with the Commission for Inspection of the Party Central Committee on September 16, requesting its officials to improve the quality of inspection activities as well as the capacity of inspectors.
The party leader said strong action should be taken to strictly deal with wrongdoings within the party so that disciplines and democratic centralism are maintained. General Secretary Trọng stressed the urgent need to combat corruption, degeneration and wastefulness among party cadres in order to increase the party purity and strength and regain people's trust. He noted that inspection is a vital element of party building, which has enhanced the party's leadership capacity and combating power. Party inspectors must improve their own ethical qualities and set a good example for others to follow.
Vietnam always places importance on strengthening and developing the comprehensive cooperation and strategic partnership with India. State President Trương Tấn Sang delivered the statement at a reception for Indian Foreign Minister Krishna in Hanoi on September 17th.
The state leader said Vietnam has and will create favorable conditions for Indian businesses to invest in the country. Vietnam also supports India's efforts to improve its position in the region and the world. President Sang requested sectors and foreign ministries of Vietnam and India to well-prepare cooperation contents for signing during his upcoming official visit to India. Krishna said the traditional and multifaceted cooperation between India and Vietnam is developing fruitfully. He also affirmed that India wants to further promote cooperation and coordination with Vietnam at international forums. Earlier, Minister Krishna was received by Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng, who called on Vietnam and India to make greater efforts to further boost trade and investment relations on a par with potentials and desire of both countries. The government leader expressed his hope that the two sides would effectively implement bilateral agreements to bring two-way trade to $3 billion this year and $7 billion by 2015. Krishna said the 14th section of the Vietnam-India Joint Commission put forward a wide range of measures to promote bilateral cooperation in security and defense, economic trade, investment, control, and science and technology.
Foreign Minister Phạm Bình Minh held talks with his Indian counterpart Krishna and co-chaired the 14th session of the Vietnam-India Joint Commission on Trade, Economic, Scientific, and Technical Cooperation in Hanoi on September 16.
At the talks, Minh said the exchanges of visits by high-ranking leaders are important milestones, creating favorable conditions to strongly promote the strategic partnership and multifaceted cooperation between Vietnam and India. At the 14th section of the Vietnam-India Joint Commission, the two sides reviewed the performance of agreements reached at the previous section, the 2007-2011 Action Plan, and outlined an action plan for the 2011-2013 period. The two sides highly valued cooperation in security, national defense, and agreed to step up cooperation in the fields of agriculture, fisheries, breeding, information and telecommunications, healthcare, tourism, justice, culture, and human resource training in the years to come.
Vietnamese National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Hùng held talks with his Cambodian counterpart Heng Samrin in Phnom Penh on September 16 during his official visit to Cambodia, where he will attend the 32nd General Assembly of the ASEAN Inter-Parliamentary Assembly.
Chairman Hùng said the National Assemblies of Vietnam and Cambodia should continue to implement cooperation agreements effectively, coordinate at inter-parliamentary forums, and join hands in dealing with issues arising in their external relations. He expressed his belief that, under the chairmanship of President Heng Samrin and the Cambodian National Assembly, IPA 32nd will be successful, contributing to increasing the solidarity, understanding and cooperation between its member parliaments. President Heng Samrin welcomed the joint efforts of the two legislative bodies in demarcating and planting land border markers between Vietnam and Cambodia and urged the two sides to actively support and encourage ministries, agencies and localities to fulfill the work by early 2012 as agreed. The Cambodian president proposed the two sides increase exchange of delegations at all levels to share experiences, contributing to developing friendship and cooperation between the two parliaments and peoples.
As a part of his working visit to China, Director of the General Politics Department of the Vietnam People's Army, Lieutenant General Ngô Xuân Lịch, met with Chinese Vice State President Xi Jinping in Beijing on September 16.
Lieutenant General Ngô Xuân Lịch informed the host of the early talks with his Chinese counterpart, Senior Lieutenant General Li Chin-nai. The two sides applauded the outstanding results of defense cooperation between the two armies and agreed to expand cooperative ties in many fields in the coming time. Lịch reaffirmed Vietnam's stance on the settlement of disputes in the East Sea and expressed his hope that leaders of the two parties and states would deal with the disputes properly through peaceful solutions. Vice President Xi Jinping stressed that, despite the differences and disputes in the East Sea, leaders of the two parties and states firmly believe that the two sides will seek out solutions to settle these matters satisfactorily. The Chinese leader also affirmed that China attaches great importance to developing relations with Vietnam and supports cooperation between the two armies.
Foreign Minister spokesman Lương Thanh Nghị on September 16 reaffirmed Vietnam's uncontroversial sovereignty over Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa's archipelagos.
Nghị made the affirmation in response to reporters' queries about Vietnam's reaction to information saying that China had recently sent a 1,000-ton fishing ship to Trường Sa to assist with aquaculture and fishing, and about 500 fishing vessels regularly operated in the area, and other information about China opposing India's cooperation with Vietnam in exploring oil and gas at Lot 127 and Lot 128 in Vietnam's exclusive economic zone. He said all activities of parties in the area without Vietnam's acceptance are violations of Vietnam's sovereignty and asked parties to refrain from actions that could complicate the situation in the East Sea. He stressed that cooperation projects between Vietnam and foreign partners in oil and gas, including projects at Lot 127 and 128, located in Vietnam's exclusive economic zone and continental shelf, completely belong within the rights of sovereignty and jurisdiction. In accordance with the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and international practice, as well as multilateral and bilateral agreements signed by Vietnam.
The Francophone University Agency held a ceremony in Hanoi on September 16 to celebrate its 50th anniversary, with the participation of Vice State President Nguyễn Thị Doan.
The Francophone University Agency now includes 800 universities in 94 countries and works as a bridge to connect linkages among French-speaking universities. The agency has 42 member universities in Vietnam with nearly 4,000 students. Addressing the ceremony, Vice State President Doan said Vietnam always attaches importance to cooperation with Francophone countries and the International Francophone Organization. The leader expressed her belief that the Francophone University Agency would make greater contributions to the development of the Francophone community and that relations between Vietnam and the agency would be more effective in the future.
Construction of the Mongzung 2 thermoelectric power plant began in Cẩm Phả town, the northwestern province of Quảng Ninh, on September 16th.
The wholly foreign investor project has a total capital of $2 billion. It is developed by the Ttxvn Mongzung Electricity Company, a joint venture of the AES Corporation from the U.S., the POSCO Power Corporation from the Republic of Korea, and the China Investment Corporation. The coal-fueled plant has a net designed capacity of 1,120 megawatts. The project is planned for completion in 2015. It will be transferred to the Vietnamese government after 20 years of operation.
And that is the end of our news today. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.